Welcome back to the road to Rebirth. This time, I'll be talking about Jurassic World Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion is an American science fiction film directed by Colin Trevorrow, who co-wrote the screenplay with Emily Carmichael from a story by Derek Connolly. The film was released on June 10th, 2022 and was produced by Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment. Like its predecessors, the film was a financial success. It grossed $1 billion worldwide, becoming the third highest grossing film of 2022, right after Top Gun Maverick and Avatar: The Way of Water. However, it had the most negative reception of all the Jurassic movies, and I have to agree here. Now, as a fan of the franchise, a defender of the Lost World, and someone who thinks the hate for Fallen Kingdom is overblown, I wanted to be on the supporting side. I'm aware that some of you found my channel for praising Dominion, which, if you still like this movie, that's fine. While I have come forward with this film, I feel the need to be more upfront about it. 4 years after the events of Fallen Kingdom, dinosaurs coexist and hunt alongside humans across the globe. This delicate equilibrium will redefine the future and ultimately decide whether humanity will continue to inhabit a planet and how it shares with the most formidable creatures from history. Or that's what I'd like to say what this film is about. What this film is really about? Bugs! Instead of the main focus being man dealing with dinosaurs in the mainland, the main threat is locusts eating the world's food supply. Now, I'm not opposed to the idea of prehistoric bugs in the franchise. However, making them the primary threat when the ending of Fallen Kingdom, Battle at Big Rock, and even the motion comics were teasing dinosaurs in the mainland, the bait and switch is not cool. While the film has some highlights, like the Malta scene in Claire's encounter with the Therizinosaurus, getting to the good parts is a slog. The extended cut helps a few scenes flow better, but doesn't improve the film much. Also, the ending is just baffling. Man and dinosaurs' coexistence was solved so easily. Was there something that happened off screen? Another issue is that the film features callbacks with no substance. Except for the White Rabbit Easter egg. I had no problem with the callbacks in Jurassic World as the franchise had been on a hiatus, and Fallen Kingdom made sense as it was celebrating 25 years of the franchise and saying farewell to Isla Nublar, but here, it's hollow and just for the sake of callbacks. Like Grant asking if they have a T-Rex and the gang rebooting the system in the same fashion as the first movie is just cringeworthy. The last of which is my least favorite scene in the franchise. I hate it more than Barney interrupting the Spinosaurus boat attack. Jurassic World Dominion has the most extensive variety of dinosaurs seen in the franchise. That should be a good thing, right?
Good guess, but actually no.
Dominion has too many dinosaurs crammed in to the point where they don't get to shine properly, even with the extended runtime. However, one new species that leaves an impression is the Therizinosaurus, a blind herbivore that remains a formidable threat. The film introduces new raptors with the Atrociraptor Squad and the Pyroraptor, and while there were scenes dedicated to them, the movie did them a disservice. Thankfully, they received their redemption in Chaos Theory. While we are on the topic of raptors, Blue returns and now has a child named Beta. Aside from having to rescue Beta along with Macy, the movie doesn't do much with them. Though I do like the scenes of Blue and Beta hunting. The Dilophosaurus makes a long-awaited return, and it was underwhelming. Also, big Dilos are overdue for an appearance. Time Material suggested they could grow as big as their real-life counterparts. But the biggest disappointment is the Giganotosaurus. Now, I don't hate his design as some people do, but he has to be one of, if not the most wasted dinosaur in the franchise. Nicknamed Zeb due to his zebra-like stripes, he was propped up as the new big bad dinosaur for Dominion, but was hardly featured in the film, and had nothing special to offer compared to the other large carnivores in the franchise. While I liked how the final battle with him, Rexy, and Therizinosaurus brought things back to the first World movie, since all three species were part of the I-Rex's genetic makeup, the impact was left to be desired. There have been fan animations of alternate endings that have a greater impact. Speaking of Rexy, she was done dirty, and hardly got to shine. Also, while it's nice to see the Buck and Doe Rex from the Lost World again, their appearance raises questions. Also, where's Junior? Well, the dinosaur's CGI looks fine, The same can be said about the animatronics and puppets. I don't know if it's me, but they just seem stiff. Unfortunately, the large cast muddles the already bloated film. Not helping is the ridiculous plot armor these characters possess, as well as the fact that no main innocent human dies. I blame the Karens and phony male feminists who whined about Zara's death, and Colin Trevorrow for being too sensitive. Owen Grady and Claire Deering return, played by Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard respectively. While Chris and Bryce try their best, they can't salvage much. Macy Lockwood returns once again, played by Isabella Sermon. The film had the opportunity to do something interesting with her character, but instead it made her origin story unnecessarily convoluted. I refrain from calling her origin story retconned, as I've heard of people argue her origin wasn't retconned. Whatever the case, it was needlessly confusing. Zia Rodriguez and Franklin Webb return once again, played by Daniela Pineda and Jessa Smith, respectively, and I have to say they were done dirty. They had loads of potential in the franchise and were reduced to brief appearances. The original main trio, Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm reunite, played by Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, respectively. While seeing them reunite is nice, it's not enough to save the movie. B.D. Wong returns as Dr. Henry Wu, and while I like the idea of him getting a redemption arc, it could have been more interesting if it happened during the movie's runtime. Like maybe he saw something that sparked a change. Lewis Dodgson, who appeared in the first film, returns as the main antagonist. His actor Campbell Scott replaces Cameron Thor, as Thor was arrested for something that I'm not going into detail about. Lewis Dodgson's return excited fans who read the books, as he played a much bigger role, especially in the second one. However, he doesn't have much to offer other than being sociopathic and obsessive. Ramsey Cole, played by Mahamadou Afi, is the head of communications for Biosyn Genetics and is Lewis Dodgson's representative. He is secretly allied with Ian Malcolm and his friends to bring Dodgson down. He's alright, I guess. The best new character is probably Kayla Watts, played by DeWanda Wise. She's an independent contract pilot who delivers captured dinosaurs for buyers around the globe and aids Owen and Claire on their mission. This could be due to her charisma and the fact that she adheres to a moral code, even when technically engaging in illegal work, and is willing to do the right thing. In the end, I know it's not much, but I'm willing to take what I can in this mess. Owen Barry Simbone from Jurassic World returns, played by Omar Sy, now a French intelligence agent. There is also Rain Delacourt, played by Scott Hayes, a poacher who captures Macy and Beta for Biosyn, and Siona Santos, played by Duchine Lachman, a dinosaur smuggler. While it has a few memorable scenes, Jurassic World Dominion is too bloated. The film focuses on something else instead of dinosaurs in the mainland, and doesn't feel like a proper send-off for the franchise. On my rating scale, I'm going to give Jurassic World Dominion 1 star. However, I'm going to give the extended cut 1.5 stars. Before I sign off, I must explain why Dominion dropped the ball. There are films in the franchise that feel like a good stopping point, but studio executives push them to continue. It's like when a band goes on a farewell tour only to come out of retirement and they should have called it a day. Jurassic World Dominion was setting itself up as the franchise's finale and blew it. However, I'm not giving up hope for the future. I've seen franchises able to rebound after all seemed lost. Hopefully this is the case with Rebirth. With David Koepp returning and Gareth Edwards having good luck with already established IPs, I'm hopeful that life will find a way again. I've now finished revisiting the last 6 Jurassic movies. Unfortunately, I'll be in Seattle when Rebirth is in theaters, and seeing it there is too much of a hassle, but I plan to see it when I return to Grand Junction. After watching, I will share my rating on the YouTube community tab and give a Letterboxd review. After rewatching the film, I plan to make a quick thoughts video and a spoiler talk, and an official review once it receives a home media release. See you next time!